Bring in radio host Erickson from Georgia, where there's some incredibly key races come 2022. Erick, good to see you. All right, if nothing changes between 2020 and 2022, that's trouble for Republicans, right?
No, I don't really think it is. California is somewhat anomalous, and you got to keep in mind that statewide in California, if you turn out the Democrats, they're going to win. It really helped Gavin Newsom to turn this into a Larry Elder versus Gavin Newsom race. The polling had the recall very close until it became a Larry Elder-Gavin Newsom race. And of course, California Democrats, when given the choice, they're going to go with the Democrat, and there are way more of them than there are Republicans.
You say Larry Elder referendum. What Democrats were excellent at, and Gavin Newsom was right on message, as was President Biden and Kamala Harris when they went down there, or went out there, I should say, to California. They said that Larry Elder, who you're looking at right now, was essentially Donald Trump spitting image in California. If that indeed works, and simply branding any Republican as the next Donald Trump, that's not a great branding issue for Republicans, is it?
Well, it depends. In states like Ohio or Georgia, it's not necessarily a bad thing, although you've got to also have a candidate who takes the bait. And no disrespect intended to Larry Elder, but he did spend a lot of time addressing conservatives and going on conservative networks and conservative talk shows, his own conservative talk show, kind of ignored California media. It allowed a reinforcing echo chamber there. Look, the Democrats have tried this even in 2020, tying a lot of Republicans to Donald Trump, and it didn't work in those states. In fact, the Republicans almost took back the House. Texas Democrats, of course, went overboard.
Well, but hold on, Erick. Republicans didn't take back the House, and they squarely lost the Senate because of Georgia. States crucial to Senate control 2022. You've got Georgia, Arizona, Missouri, Pennsylvania. Governor races, Ohio, Georgia, and Arizona. We'll speak specifically about Georgia. All right, President Trump lost there, and Republicans lost 2 Senate seats there. I'll ask it again. If things are exactly the same in 2022 as they were in 2020, that doesn't work out very well for Republicans.
No, actually, I think it does. I mean, just take, for example, the U.S. House. Republicans were actually expected to lose 10 to 15 seats in 2020. They came within 5 of taking it back. In Georgia, the problem was actually Donald Trump talked people out of voting. 427,205 Republicans who showed up in the general election didn't show up in the runoff. People went out and surveyed them. 2/3 said they thought it was going to be stolen again. That's why they lost in Georgia. It really didn't have to do with an anti-Donald Trump sentiment headed into the runoff. It had to do with Republicans talking themselves out. Now, that leads me to Donald Trump is the wild card. If he sabotages Republican victories by telling people they're going to be stolen, yeah, that hurts. But overall, the momentum is with the Republicans. Even the generic ballot is virtually tied right now, which typically gives Republicans a good boost in midterms.
All right, so you're, at least from what I'm hearing, pretty confident about Georgia in particular, because that's what you know best. A Senate seat in Georgia conceivably would help Republicans a lot. What screws that up? I'll ask a question. If you get a Herschel Walker, and once again it's turned into a version of Donald Trump by Democrats, that's got to hurt, right?
That's the problem. Yes, I mean there's plenty of data that Herschel Walker can run away with the primary. I've actually talked to a ton of Republican consultants in and out of Georgia. Everyone agrees he can be the nominee, and if he is, he's going to lose. And that again is the problem. It's the selection process for pro-Trump candidates. Donald Trump again can help Republicans in a lot of states, but he can also hurt them by dominating the vetting process for candidates.
Well, and you're one of the few Republicans who are brave enough to actually say that on television. We appreciate it. Erick, it's always good to see you and get your perspective. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Biden's mandates means